Yes, we are doing a rerun because even hunky ethnic gods like myself can have the wrong opinion from time to time, and as a humble Korean deity, I must come on here and rectify my wrongdoings.
Hey! Stop with Korean Jesus. He ain't got time for your problems. He busy with Korean shit.
We're gonna go through a few of my older shorts and replace my old outdated opinions with new ones. Yeezus versus IGOR, tracklist ranking. On-site versus IGOR's theme. I have to go with on-site. I love IGOR's theme. I love how it sets up the story of the album through its rough, dynamic soundscape. It sounds brash, but at the same time, it's beautiful. However, I can say the exact same thing for On-Site. They're both amazing intro tracks, but On-Site always manages to hype me up. Black Skinhead versus Earthquake. Black Skinhead is a top tier Kanye banger. I still love Earthquake even if Playboy Carti is speaking the Minecraft enchantment table language. I Am a God versus I Think. I Think is just the better song. I still choose I Think, but I Am a God is phenomenal as well. New Slaves versus Running Out of Time. This one's pretty easily New Slaves. Hold My Liquor versus New Magic Wand. I want to go with Kanye's Hold My Liquor. Okay, this one pissed off a lot of people, but I don't care. I love New Magic Wand and what that song does for the overall narrative of IGOR, but the more enjoyable song to me is easily Hold My Liquor. I just can't get enough of that beautiful production from Kanye and Mike Dean, and even Kanye's verse is great. But regardless, it was the hardest choice on this track list ranking. I'm In It versus A Boy Is a Gun. I want to go with the soulful A Boy Is a Gun. Blood on the Leaves versus Puppet. I have to go with Blood on the Leaves on this one. I love Puppet though, it's so underrated. This was the second hardest choice to make. Guilt Trip versus What's Good. So I'm going with What's Good. Send It Up versus Gone Gone Thank You. Gone Gone Thank You is just on another level. Musically, Bound To versus Are We Still Friends, because I'm gonna skip I Don't Love You Anymore, but regardless, whichever song I chose would not be Bound To. Yeah, I skipped I Don't Love You Anymore, but regardless, Bound To would have won either way. Are We Still Friends is an amazing closer, but Bound To is a classic. And you know what, although Yeezus won the track list ranking, I actually think IGOR is the slightly better album. God, this was gonna be really tough to watch. Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers versus Her Loss. United in Grief versus Rich Flex. United in Grief. It's still Kendrick, but Rich Flex is a hot banger. N95 versus Major Distribution. N95. Worldwide Steppers versus On BS. On BS. Die Hard versus Back Outside Boys. Die Hard. Father Time versus Privileged Rappers. Father Time. Again, it's obviously Father Time, but Privileged Rappers is underrated. Rich Spirit versus Spin Bout You. Spin Bout You. Okay, this was actually really close. Rich Spirit really grew on me, but I'm still gonna give the slight edge to Spin Bout You. I find this song absolutely hilarious and enjoyable. We Cry Together versus Hours in Silence. We Cry Together. Purple Hearts versus Treacherous Twins. Purple Hearts. Count Me Out versus Circle Loco. Circle Loco. Yes, I was wrong. I was a dummy. It's Count Me Out. I must have been possessed by the devil when I said what I said. And I personally apologize to the hip-hop community for this atrocious, terrible sin. Crown versus and Millions, Pussy and Millions. Silent Hill versus Broke Boys. Silent Hill. But this time the better song is Drake's Broke Boys. Silent Hill is great. I love the unique production, but Broke Boys is top 2 on Her Loss. Savior versus Middle of the Ocean. Middle of the Ocean. It's Savior, and I love Middle of the Ocean, but it's so obviously Savior. Massive L on my part. Auntie Diaries versus Jumbotron Shit Poppin'. Auntie Diaries. Then MM versus MM, and this one's going to MM. And then Mother I Sober versus 3 AM on Glenwood. Mother I Sober. Mirror versus I Guess It's Me. Mirror. And that's a total of 11 points for Kendrick Lamar and 5 points for Drake. So the new total would now be 12 points to Kendrick and 4 points to Drake. Hopefully my math is right. I should know better. My name is literally Korean Einstein. Drake's Nothing Was the Same versus J. Cole's 2014 Forest Hills Drive. Tuscan Leather versus the intro. This one's going to Drake. Furthest Thing versus January 28th. Furthest Thing. This was tough because January 28th is top tier on Forest Hills Drive, but Furthest Thing is top tier in Drake's entire catalog. Started from the bottom versus Wet Dreams. This one again is going to Drake. I've said this before and I'll say it again. Wet Dreams is one of the corniest songs I've ever heard, and even though I'm not the biggest fan of this Drake song, it's still better than Wet Dreams. Wu-Tang Forever versus 03 Adolescence. I have to give a slight edge to J. Cole here. Yeah, it's still J. Cole, but I just want to say I still love Wu-Tang Forever. Own It versus A Tale of Two Cities, J. Cole. Worst Behavior versus Fire Squad, J. Cole. From Time versus Saint Tropez. From Time is just absolutely stunning. I'd still choose From Time, but Saint Tropez is fire as well. Hold On We're Going Home versus GOMD, Drake once again. Connect versus No Role Models, No Role Models. The Language versus Hello. I'm actually gonna go with Hello on this one. Yo, I know a lot of people don't like Hello, but I don't care. I absolutely love this song. I think it has so much heart and passion to it. There's a hint of nostalgia in there, and I even love J. Cole singing. 305 To My City versus Apparently. I do slightly prefer the Drake song more. I was tripping because Apparently is the better song, one of the best songs on Forest Hills Drive, and 305 To My City might be the worst song on Nothing Was the Same. So yeah, there you have it. I was wrong. Too Much versus Love Yours, Love Yours. This was really tough because both songs are beautiful, but it's still J. Cole. Pound Cake / Paris Morton Music 2 versus Note to Self, Drake. So in total, that's 7 points for Drake and 6 points for J. Cole. So I guess the new score would be 6 points to Drake and 7 points to J. Cole. Dawn FM versus Honestly Nevermind tracklist ranking. Dawn FM versus Intro. I'm handing this one to The Weeknd and Jim Carrey. Gasoline versus Falling Back. I have to go with Gasoline here. How Do I Make You Love Me versus Texco Green. This one has to go to The Weeknd. Texco Green is extremely underrated though. Take My Breath versus Currents. Take My Breath. Sacrifice versus A Keeper. I'm going with Sacrifice. Out of Time versus Calling My Name. Out of Time. Here we go. Again versus Sticky. I'm actually going with Drake here. Best Friends versus Massive. Another Drake W here. I don't get how choosing Sticky and Massive over Here We Go Again and Best Friends is a hot take. They're easily better songs in my opinion. Is There Someone Else versus Flights Booked. Not my favorite tracks on their respective albums, but I still have to go with The Weeknd. Is There Someone Else did grow on me slightly, so I wouldn't call it bottom tier on Dawn FM anymore. Starry Eyes versus Overdrive. Overdrive. Every Angel Is Terrifying versus Downhill. I'm gonna go Drake here. I love Downhill. Again, Overdrive and Downhill are my two favorite songs on Honestly Nevermind. So it was super easy to make those choices. Don't Break My Heart versus Tie That Binds. Don't Break My Heart. I Heard You're Married versus Liability. Again, not my favorites, but I'm gonna go with The Weeknd. While I do love Jimmy Cooks, I still have to go with Less Than Zero. And that's a grand total of 10 points for The Weeknd and 4 points for Drake. Overall, what did you expect? The Weeknd still wipes, but not completely. And guys, that is the redux, the rerun of the tracklist rankings. Let me know your thoughts down in the comments below. Alright, love you, peace out.